Hi friends, this is Chef Sharad Dewan, the food alchemist. Welcome to Nature's Basket Cookathon in collaboration with Travel Dine, where 15 chefs over 15 days will take you through their own favorite festive dishes. But I will be taking you through a gourmet journey with my special dish, an apple, maple and bacon dust scuffin. Come on, let's go and cook. Let's start with the exotic ingredients that we use in making of the apple, maple and bacon dust scuffins. Let me introduce you to the ingredients that I'll be using for making the apple, maple and bacon dust scuffins. Streaky bacon, refined flour, roughly chopped apples, cheddar cheese, free-range egg, maple syrup, organic sugar, cooking butter, Parmesan cheese, baking powder, cooking salt, full cream milk and oil spray, which I'll be using to spray the molds in which I will cook the scuffins. So that's the streaky bacon, violently, silently cooking on the hot plate. I wish I could capture the aroma of this bacon also in the camera. We're going to cook it till the time it's absolutely crispy. I just realized, why not use this fat instead of the butter? So I'm just draining off a little bit of this fat and I shall replace it with butter. Bacon is now getting closer and closer to the crispy stage that we want to take it to. So when we reach towards the end where the crispiness is evident, we increase the flame and then we have to keep on turning it so that the bacon reaches its epitome of crispiness but doesn't burn. An important step is to preheat the oven for baking, because if you don't preheat the oven, the product will go dry because you'll have to cook it for a longer time. As said in the recipe, we'll set it around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 176 to 180 degrees centigrade. So my oven is set for preheating, and while the oven is heating up, let's mix up the ingredients. So let's first chop up the bacon. I'll be dividing the bacon into two parts. 4 pieces of bacon, chop up roughly. This I will use for adding into the batter. And 2 pieces I will grind in the jar, mixie jar, to make the dust. So this roughly chopped bacon, this is ready. This will I keep aside for putting it into the batter. The rest of it goes into the jar for making the bacon dust. You can see the dust, it's very coarse, it's not fine grain, it's just coarse. But it's got a very nice granular texture, it's very sandy texture and a very nice smoky smell. Again, I wish I could make you smell in the recipe. So let's now get down on assembling and making the batter for the scuffins. So first what we'll do, we'll take the milk and the egg and gently blend it together. I usually do this first so that they get a little resting time in blending with each other. And while they sit and rest and mix with each other, let's mix the rest of the ingredients. The flour. It is always best to sieve the flour, not because there could be anything in it, but because it aerates the flour. And when the flour gets aerated, it gets a better volume. We have to be a little patient when we are doing the sieving, because as you can see, the amount of flour which would seem like just one sieve full is now looking at least 2 sieve fulls. Right? So I've got my flour. Now I'm going to blend in slowly the rest of the ingredients. The salt, the baking powder, which again I'm going to sieve so it mixes with the flour. And now one by one we are going to blend in the rest of the ingredients. The sugar, the cheddar cheese, the chopped up apples, the chopped bacon, and butter. But as I said before, I'm not going to use all of the butter. I'm going to use half of the butter. And the half of the butter which I'm not using, I'm going to substitute with this lovely bacon fat. And you know what's amazing about the bacon fat? Actually, historically in French cuisine, bacon fat was used for cooking meat. But if you are a bacon eater, a pork eater, you could take this fat and store it and use it for grilling your fish, your chicken. I'm telling you, your cuisine, your food dishes are going to elevate to a totally different level altogether. That's a chef's secret. I'm going to slowly, very gently blend it together. Now this blending has to be done gently and not vigorously, because what we are making out here is not just muffins. If it was muffins, I would have done it probably in a blending machine to give it a higher volume. What we are making is scuffins. And you must be wondering, what is scuffins? Scuffins is a blend of scones and muffins. So you get that biscuity texture which a scone has, that melting, buttery, biscuity texture, but you still have some softness and volume which comes in a muffin. So I'm getting the best of two worlds in one dish, and it's called scuffins. I'll use a fork, best way to mix the ingredients till the time you see a little crumbly texture being formed. You can see it is getting crumbly slowly and slowly. As the fat is mixing, the butter, the bacon fat, it's mixing with the flour, the crumbly texture is being formed. As you must have guessed by now, this is a savory dish, but we do add sugar. It's a very strange philosophy that we follow, but there is not a strange philosophy. There is also a science behind it, but that I leave for a different story altogether. Is that whenever we make salty dishes, we add a little sugar. It enhances and balances. And whenever we make sweet dishes, we add a little salt to balance the sweetness. That's the philosophy. Right, the crumbly texture is ready, and now I put in the egg and the milk mixture into it. Slowly, gently put it in and blend it. No vigorous mixing required out here. So you don't need muscles to make this dish. You just need a great recipe, a little bit of patience, and of course, a great festive season ahead. So I'm gently mixing it till the time it forms into a rough batter. As you can see, it's a rough batter. It's not a very fine batter, and that's what we want, because we don't want volume. We want softness. We want a biscuity texture, but we want just a little bit of aeration. And all this when I'm doing, my oven is getting preheated, and in just a couple of minutes the oven will be ready to the temperature of 350 degree Fahrenheit, or as I said, around 176 to 180 degrees centigrade. So my batter is now well blended. Some people don't like it, but I love it. I always like to taste the mixture at this point of time. Amazing. Nice, well rested. I rested it for around 2-3 minutes. It's nice and well rested. Now these are the cooking molds that I'll be using. Now, as you can see, these are made of silicone. It helps in the way that you don't need to put too much lining of fat or paper. It's easy, it's very easily manageable, and when I'm unmolding it, you will see how easily I'll be able to hold it in my hand, because it's not metal. I'll be able to hold it in my hand, and how easily I'll be able to unmold each of those scuffins. I'm using the light spray, a little bit of spray that is required just to ensure that it come out very easily. Otherwise you can skip that step also. So now let's fill up our molds with the batter. We have to fill up around half, not to the top. As you can see, try and use a smaller spoon to pour so that the molds don't become dirty. What will happen if too much of batter sticks to the side, and when you put it inside in the oven, it tends to burn. Now when it burns, it sometimes leaves a little off or a bitter taste. So our oven is also now ready. Let's put it inside the oven. The preheated oven. Introduce the molds. Set it at 180 degrees or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So as you can see, we are close towards the end of the cooking of the scuffins. It's about a minute more left. It has been in the oven for around 15 minutes now, and I can see a little brown crust being formed. It will not rise like muffins do, because I said this is not muffins, these are scuffins, and it will have a little biscuity texture but still enough volume to qualify as a muffin also. So we're just around 40 seconds away when this is going to be ready. The temperature of the oven is around 180 degrees centigrade right now. That's around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And the whole kitchen is smelling of a very unusual aroma. Usually when we cook like this, you expect a nice flavor of caramel and the typical bakery smell coming out. But here, what is being added is this smoky smell of bacon. It's a very heady smell. So we've reached the end of it, and you can see our scuffins ready. Wow, just look at them. That lovely biscuity texture on top, that heady, smoky smell of bacon. Wow, this is what I cook for. It's going to be a little hot. Me being the chef can take a little advantage of that situation. You be a little careful. You might wait and cool it down a little bit, but I will do it right away. Now here you will see the advantage of using a silicone mold and the spray which I used. They come out so easily. They're nice and hot, ready to eat, ready to be served after I've done the magic trick. Right, so here we are, ready to do the last step, the magic trick on these scuffins. So our scuffins are out of the oven. They are still warm, ready to be eaten, gorged upon, celebrated. Let's get to the last step of the recipe, the finishing of the scuffins. So the first step of the last step is mixing of the bacon dust and the Parmesan cheese. I'm just mixing the two together, just so evenly blended. Yeah, keeping it aside. I'm taking the maple syrup and lightly brushing on top of the scuffins. Maple and bacon, they go so well together. In fact, in almost all recipes where bacon or ham is used, you'll find maple syrup being there as a perfect partner. And here we are doing like a very amazing gameplay between savory, little bit of sweet, little bit of smokiness. In fact, maple syrup on its own also has a very strange sort of sweetness. It is not harsh, it is a little smoky, it's a little organic. And I'll use my hand now to sprinkle the bacon and Parmesan dust, which we can call the Christmas confetti right here actually. Wow, just look at that. Just look at that. Not everything to look good, to look complete, needs a cherry on top. Some of the things can have the bacon and Parmesan dust also. And this is such a fantastic mixture, you can actually use it in many other ways. Wow, now they are ready, and let's give it a final Christmas touch. Let's decorate each one of them a little differently. We can put a mistletoe on some, we can do some nice bells on some. So here you are guys, my celebration recipe. Merry Christmas to you.